Hey guys, welcome back to this African Perspective. Thank you for stopping by today, and for those of you that are new to the channel, you are welcome. Thank you all. So today the video we're going to be checking out right now is a video on people. This is variety of people, right, with different type of thoughts, coming from different backgrounds, having different type of family. You know, a lot of people have challenges right now with paying rent, as the rent price has become really high, and it is so difficult for people to be paying for rent alone by themselves, because sometimes the income is not even enough to actually pay for the rent and still be able to feed yourself, still be able to pay for other utility bills and the rest that you might have, your car insurance, different type of things that cost you daily. So many people decided, some of them, like some young people who are in their 20s and even in their 30s, to go back to their parents' house. I know many people do not have the luxury of doing that. Even if they are going through struggle, their parents is a no-no. They can't even go back to them, while some people don't even have parents to go back to, while some people, their parents are just very unreasonable. They can't even live under the same roof with them. Their family are like, they behave like cats and rats under the same roof. So some people it's a no-no, while some people actually have that that luxury, because I think it's a luxury, to go back. Some people are actually saying that they get shamed for it. Like, why are you going back to your parents' house in your 20s? Like, there's a age limit as to when you shouldn't be living in your parents' house, and they'll shame you for it. They'll insult you and say all sort of things to you, and like, hey, like, don't take that as an insult. So we're going to be checking out this video and see people's different perspective on being back at their parents' house and on their way to their parents' house, and the reasons why they decided to choose that life, because they've lived by themselves before, but things in life happen, okay? You understand? So but before we get right into this video, I need you guys to please click the like button. It helps with the algorithm. You can share this video if you want to. I really appreciate it. And also, if you're new to the channel, please make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell to get notified every time I post a new video. Let's get right into it.
Did you live with your parents past 22?
I'm 20 right now. I'm still living with my parents.
Yeah, see, here's the thing, right? Come here. At this point, there is no longer an age limit to staying with parents. Does that make sense? Right? I know before it was like, oh, once we turn like 20 or so, try to move out of your parents' house. The way that life is going, that is quite literally almost impossible at this point. People who claim they don't live with their parents anymore, come here. They probably have roommates somewhere else, right? And living with your parents or living with roommates, both are pretty uncomfortable. The only difference is, at least if you live with your parents, somebody's going to say that they love you at the end of the night. Well, for most of us. But you know what I'm saying, right? At this point, living by yourself is almost impossible. Anybody who does live by themselves, they either are working so much that they can't even enjoy living by themselves, or somebody is helping them pay those bills, because at this point, it's impossible.
Why does no one prepare you for how genuinely fucking crazy living with your parents as an adult will make you feel? Especially when you've already lived on your own for like a significant amount of time and you end up moving back in with your parents. That shit is so fucking humbling. I was living on my own, well, like with roommates, but you know, on my own, out in Utah, where the rent for a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom apartment was $1,500. I paid $500 in rent to have a gigantic master bedroom and bathroom. I wanted to move back to California, like where I'm from, so I moved back in with my dad because rent free. Yeah, I'm financially stable, but at what fucking cost? It sucks because I feel fucking ungrateful. Like, I love my dad, I do. And the fact that I get to live in Orange County, California, which is like ridiculously expensive, and super close to LA, which is also ridiculously expensive, and I get my own bedroom and bathroom for literally no rent. Right, like, I need to be grateful, but oh my god! I hate it here. I'm living in my fucking childhood bedroom. And mind you, I've been living on my own since I was 18 because I got kicked out like less than a month after I turned 18. I feel like a kid again, and like not in a good way. There's very little room for personal growth when you shove yourself back in a cocoon that you have already grown out of. And it sucks because I feel like there's this resentment that builds up, and it's like, I love my dad. I don't want to resent him. But when he's just there all the fucking time, like, I have a cat, so I can't keep my doors closed, right? I have to keep my doors open or my cat will just fucking sit there and scream. My dad just walks right through him. Walks right through him. I'm a grown woman! You know how long it's been since I've met me? I can't even split the fucking bed! Let alone, like, God forbid, bringing someone home and fucking them in my bed. I can't do that shit. I'm not doing that shit in my childhood fucking bedroom when I live with my dad. And I've tried to be like, yo, can you please just like fucking knock? Like, it's his house. I get it. It's his house. You can open my bed. Like, oh my god! You know it's bad when like the sound of their footsteps coming towards your room fills you with fucking rage. But I feel so fucking bad because it's like, damn, he is just letting me live in his house rent free. I'm a grown adult. I should be able to like pay my own bills and pay my own fucking rent. Also, inflation, bro. What the fuck do you mean it will cost me $1,500 for one room in an apartment split with multiple people? What the fuck? And I am very lucky in the fact that, like, he lets me leave the house whenever. Like, I can go do whatever the fuck I want. But it's the constant, like, having to check in and having to tell someone, yep, I'm...
Let's talk about living at home in your late 20s. First of all, the economy sucks and we are in a cost of living crisis. So all judgment needs to exit stage left immediately. But I'm 29 and I live at home with my parents. I've had my own place. I live with friends. I've lived with my partner. But I'm at home because it truly is the best decision for me at this stage in my life. And while I would love my own place, and I'm planning on doing that very soon, the reality is that living at home is smart, y'all. Living at home is comforting. Living at home for me right now is a blessing. And I'll continue to do that as long as it serves me. And when you really think about it, we are still toddler adults. Like, I don't know what the hell I'm doing out here. And times are different. The market is different. Groceries are different. But somehow salaries are still the same they were 20 years ago. Make it make sense. So I'm taking things one day at a time. And when those things change, so will my address. But for now, here we are.
Anybody that shames you for going back to your parents' house, especially right now with the way the economy is, for sure, that person is crazy. I think you are not the one. Why should you even feel ashamed for you going back to your parents' house, especially many people who are in their 20s? It's like, why are you in a rush? It helps a lot with saving money. It helps a lot. Like, even if, let's say for instance, you are in a home where maybe your parents actually need you to actually be assisting since you're working, to assist with maybe the bills, cover some part of the bills. At least you guys are putting your hands together to help, rather than you being the only one doing everything and paying for those things. It's like, take your time. Don't feel ashamed by it. Do it. Like, if it's going to help you. And so I don't think I would ever feel, if I go back to my parents' house, if anybody tells me, oh, you should be ashamed of yourself for going back to your parents' house at this age, it's like, I don't care. And I think that thing is really an American thing, because me in Africa, really, like, there's no shame in it. I can stay in my parents' house till I get to the age of maybe if I'm 27, 30, I can stay there. Okay, like, that's none of your business. If they're not complaining, they're not tired of my presence. Even if they're tired of my presence, like, what do you mean? You guys, you all are growing older. Our parents are growing older, and you need to spend time with them. Okay, sometimes they even get bored being by themselves. They don't want to be alone. Okay, so they need your presence. They need to see their children around. They need to, spend time, have conversations with them. And hey, like, mama is in the kitchen cooking for us. We're all cooking together. We're doing, like, it's a full house. I know some people really cannot live together with their family, their parents, because all they will be doing is bickering and fighting. It's gonna be very toxic. Some people are coming from, like, toxic household, but while some people are not from the toxic household, which I understand. I understand all those things. Before we go further, I wanted to take some time to say thank you to Janae and Melis. Thank you so much. I appreciate your $5 super thanks. Thank you so much. God bless you. I really appreciate you so much. That really means a lot to me. Good one. Shout out to you.
I'm moving out of my dream apartment. Now you're probably thinking, Charisse, you just moved into this place a year ago. Like, why are you leaving? And the truth is I can't afford to live here anymore. My original plan was to do month to month after my lease ended. And then my landlord hit me with the fact that I either had to sign a new lease for a year with a $500 increase, which is an additional $6,000 per year. I'm getting cut off financially, so I'm moving back to my parents' house. I'm also never in town because I'm always traveling, so spending a teacher's salary per year on rent really is not ideal. So that's why I've been pretty MIA recently. But once I get this whole move sorted out, I will be back and better than ever, baby.
Hey, everybody talking about how moving back in with your parents in your 20s after living on your own is just so impactful and shit. And there's a lot of people talking about that shit like it's like some type of objective thing, because it's a bunch of fucking people that do that. But human experience ain't a democracy. Like, a bunch of people can do some shit the wrong fucking way, and just because a bunch of people do it don't mean it's right or true. Because on another note, when I had to move back in with my parents, man, I ain't give a fuck. It's like, shit, it is what it is. I got a plan. I got some shit I got to do. This just a step in my fucking plan. Fuck it. But I feel like how well you adapt to changes is defined by how well you fucking know how to operate yourself, your mind, your body, your emotions. Like, most people is literally ruled by circumstances in their life. That's why most people strive to find shit and keep it the same. They don't want much to change, and if it change, it cannot change too fucking fast, because how they are mentally, emotionally, and physically ain't really up to them. It's kind of they're allowing that shit to be defined by the world around them. So Lord forbid this shit change too quick, because you're gonna go off the fucking deep end for sure, and then you're gonna blame it on the world. Because see, in my life, it's like I don't live like that. I could wake up every day and be mad as fuck for 8 days, happy for 8 days, sad for 8 days, depressed for 8 days, whatever the fuck I want. I just choose to be joyful because that shit feels the best, and that shit is more beneficial to my health, my well-being, my goals, all of that. But if I wanted to, I could wake up pissed off every day for 9 months straight. But because I got that level of awareness over my mind, body, and energies, the choice is fucking mine. So when I moved back in with my mama, I don't give a fuck that I used to wake up and nobody questioned me about shit. But now I wake up and somebody got something to ask me every fucking day. Oh well. Like, all I can say is this, and this should apply to more than just moving back in with your parents after living on your own. It's not about what's happening to you. It's about how you're holding what's happening to you in here. So it's like, per this situation, I don't think moving back in with your parents after living on your own objectively affects your mental health in a negative way. I think you affect your mental health in a negative way and then blame it on your circumstances because you don't know that you're doing it. Because, you know, it's like finding a solution to a problem is all about paying attention to the right thing. And if the problem is in here, then where are we looking?
For the people that moved back home with their parents after being moved out for a while, did they just revert back to their absolute insane behavior from when you were a kid? Because whenever I went out in high school, my friends would have a counter of how many times my mom called, and if it was less than 5, it meant that it was gonna be a really good day. And you're probably wondering, why didn't I just not pick up the phone? Well, that is a great question, because one time in college, I didn't pick up my phone for a couple hours, so then my parents drove 2.5 hours down to my dorm room and showed up unannounced. So, you know, I've kind of been conditioned to pick up because I'm more scared of the crazy that's about to happen. And honestly, it got a lot better once I got a 9-to-5 job, but since I moved back home, my mom has called me more than 10 times a day, every single day since I've been back. But since the only place that she can show up unannounced now is my bedroom, I've simply decided that I'm only going to allow her to have 3 phone calls a day. But since I get so panicked whenever I see the word mother pop up on my phone, I thought that the easiest solution was to just change her contact name after she reaches her allotted number of phone calls. Yeah, so this is what it's like living with an overly controlling narcissistic mother. And whenever I call her crazy, because this is clearly not normal behavior, she just giggles and says she's a professional. But I think she means that she's a professional gaslighter.
I'm 28 and I hate to say it, but I guess I'm moving back in with my African parents. No one likes the idea of moving back home, but at least I'm saving money, even if it's in exchange for my mental health and sanity. Look, everyone knows living in an African home is an extreme sport, and we honestly need a support group, and we might even be entitled to some compensation. But until then, this is my new reality.
I know I told you shouldn't date until you get married.
Yeah, Mom, but I just ask for your prayers and privacy at this time, please. But we move. No, literally, we're moving today. Piece of Cake Moving just pulled up and they brought a truck this time. And one thing about me, baby, I'ma hire somebody to make my life easier, okay? I like this soft life. Let these nice, strong men take care of it, please. Thank you. Now, despite the fact that I feel weird about moving home, which we hope is very temporary, by the way, I do feel really excited about what's to come. Will I stay in New York, a place where I was born and raised? Or is it time for me to start a new life in a new city? Only time will tell. But now, it's time to say goodbye to this 2-bedroom, 2-bath apartment that has housed me for the past 15 months. I reach over to find my phone to take one last picture, just to discover that I can't find my phone, y'all. No, wait, literally, I can't make this up. I don't understand. Everything was going so perfect, and now I can't even find my iPhone. I can't even begin to mentally prepare to cry on this ride back home to my parents, because if it's not one thing, it's another. And leaving without my phone, knowing that it could be here somewhere, just sounds downright insane.
Okay, so living with my parents and my siblings, one of the things that happened is, you know, growing up in, you know, like a Christian, religious, like family like that, they will wake us up early in the morning. And it's like, I wake up very early, right? And I go to school. So On days where I don't have to go to school, you'll be woken up really early, very early, while you're sleeping, and you just want to keep enjoying that sleep, and they'll just barge into your room and wake you up wake you up just like that. I tell you, you better hurry up. Like in just a few minutes, you need to go for morning devotion, which is everybody, the whole family will have to kneel down, and we are gonna pray and have a morning prayer. That is a morning devotion. And do you know what time that is? 5 a.m. Yeah, 5 a.m. And you know those morning sleep are very nice. Like just sleeping in the morning while you see, you know, the whole day is actually, it's like the daylight is actually coming up, and you're enjoying yourself. But they'll be like, oh, you need to wake up, and you'll be so sleepy and still go and do that prayers. And they'll even tell you that you should also lead it or sing some worship song or stuff like that. And you have to do all those things in the morning. You can't wait till it's maybe 7 or 8. Like, no, some people have to go to work, okay, early. So that was something that I really found. It was not easy having to wake up so early. Then another one with my grandmother is she wakes up pretty early, very early. I can tell you that woman can wake up by 4 a.m. and immediately she'll start having her normal house activities. It's like, why are you doing a lot of stuff early in the morning? You're hitting all the pans, you're already cooking, she's banging the doors. It's almost as if it's on purpose so you can hear the sound and actually wake up from sleep, because you're not supposed to be sleeping. And if you sleep too long, she'll come and she'll yell at you and tap on you like, wake up, wake up. And what you need to do is start doing the morning chores. And by all means, you can't wake up like late by 7 or 8 and start doing chores. No, you need to wake up really early and start doing your chores, and you finish it, and then it's like you're no longer sleepy because you were forced to be awake. So all those things, all those banging at the door, making all those sounds and noise just to wake you up, that's also something. Those things were the things I actually found annoying.
And reasons like this is like, no one is ever going to make me feel bad about living with my parents. Do you get it? Like, even if I'm like 23, if I want to live with my parents, I'm going to live with my parents. Society's not going to peer pressure me in moving out, because I don't see the point of it. If you have the luxury, the privilege to stay at home and live with your parents, take that. Take that, bro. I
don't think there's anything wrong with adults living with their parents.
I don't think people understand. Right now, the average amount of money you have to make in order to live by yourself is $60,000 a year, meaning you have to get paid $30 an hour. Come here. And that is just to cover rent. That's not including furniture. That's not including other bills. That's not including car issues, right? If you were to put all that together, you'd have to make about $75,000 a year, meaning you have to get paid over $35 or $40 an hour. So if you know somebody that is making you feel bad because you live at home with their parents, unless they are making $40 an hour at their job, they're definitely lying to you about their living situation. They either live in a closet or they have 4 roommates. There's nothing wrong with staying with your parents right now, because at this moment in time, the new generation, they can't save any money. The only thing going up is the cost of things, not the actual payment towards their lives.
I'm moving back home with my parents. I never thought I would say that, but the time has come. I can't do this. This life, this economy is ridiculous. It is crazy. I don't even know. Like, everything is so high. I'm 22 and I'm not even like, you know, old. I'm a new adult. I consider myself a baby adult still. And I've been on my own for about 2 years now. I just feel like it's the right thing to do right now, at least for a few months. Like, this is literally what I'm making for dinner. Warm up Panera Bread mac and cheese, because I can't afford to go and buy me expensive, good groceries right now. But living on your own is the most humbling experience, I will say. I have lived alone for well over a year. It is very hard. It is very tough, especially during the holiday season. I've thought so long about doing this, and I'm just going to do it and not even really think too much about it so I can save money and pay for a good apartment, you know, hopefully sometime next year. But right now, God is telling me to chill out and settle down and quit spending money on stuff that I don't need, and just go to work, go home, read the Bible, work on myself, and It'll all work out. So if you're in this position, or if you just got out of a breakup, or you're struggling financially, don't be ashamed. Don't be embarrassed. Don't be, because we're all in the same boat, I'm pretty sure. So I love my own space and I love my quiet time and my peace, but it really does get lonely. Like, I'm not gonna lie. You only get one life on this earth, and I think just cherish the time that you have with your family and your loved ones. And I'll be honest, I've not done that at all in the past year, as much as I'd like to. So that is the solution to my problem right now, is that I'm moving back home with my parents.
I moved back in with my parents like a month ago, after being on my own for like a year and a half. And at first I was super depressed about it because I'm losing my freedom and it feels like such a loser thing to do. But now I don't have any bills to pay. And I actually feel very free. I feel quite free. Yesterday my mom made me breakfast, baby, and I didn't have to do anything. I feel really good. I feel really good. The whole independent woman thing, it was cute. It was cute while it was cute, but I'm having a lot better time not having to pay rent every month, you know? Nothing is my responsibility anymore. And that's actually goals. So I won't be moving out again until I get married. I'm good with that.
So apparently being in your early 20s means that if you want to be happy and independent, you can move out but spend your whole salary on rent and just like never save any money because life is so expensive. Or you can stay at home with your parents for a bit and save a bit of money, but in return for that you have to sacrifice any inch of independence that you've ever had. And if you want to leave the four walls of your bedroom, you have to be prepared to answer 1,000 questions about your life. And if you don't answer the questions, then you're rude. And also you just feel like you're trapped in your 16-year-old's life because you've been in the same environment, in the same town your whole life. Oh my God, does it get better? Please, someone tell me it gets better.
Graduated my master's, and I stayed with me and my dad. We had started getting back on good terms. You know, I stayed with him for a year and a half before I moved out.
How old was you?
25.
See?
25. Out my master's. I was like, I ain't moving to the city because I can't afford it. I ain't have much saved up.
Self-awareness.
Yep. I was like, shit, I'm gonna make that sacrifice, stay with him for 2 years, and then when I was up, and I got my own spot for a year, and then I bought a house after that.
What stops a lot of people from doing that? What my homies gonna say? What
Pride and
the
ego.
chicks gonna say?
Listen, if your ego bigger than your bank account, you need to reevaluate, and we just gonna keep it above. That's just what it is. If you got too much ego to say, hey, I can't go back home to get my shit together because I want to live this type of life or I want to look a certain way, who you really trying to look good for? We just gonna keep it above. Most men, they trying to look good for the bitches on social media. No disrespect, I'm sorry, the women on social media. That's what they're trying to do. They want to look good for so-and-so to impress her, when it's like, bro, all you gotta do is be yourself.
How much money did you save that year staying with your pops?
Man, I was making 75.
See?
So all I had to do was help him with a couple bills, pay insurance and car note. Other than that, so I probably was saving a good 3 to 4, maybe 5.
Every
I ain't
month.
spend too much every month. Yeah, so that puts you in a good situation.
Save
but we don't
4,
think
5.
that. We turn 18 and say, hey, I got to get my own. I got to get out here and get it. Why? Why are you doing that to yourself? Other
cultures,
Asians don't do that. We the only ones who do that thing. I turn 18, I got to go.
And it's a lot of times it's the parents that saying now you're 18, you have to go.
And if that's the case, find a roommate. You got friends. They parent might have said the same thing. Instead of, oh, no, I need my own spot. No, you want your own spot. If you can't afford it, it's okay. It's okay to say, hey, bro, I can't do this right now. Let me go stay in somebody's basement that might only charge me $500-$600 a month. Rather than trying to go get a 1-bedroom and spend, in Atlanta, you're going to spend, what, $1,700, $1,900, $2,100 on a 1-bedroom?
Crazy.
Because you want to live in the city? Just be smart.
Many people have, like, they love their privacy. They love being able to, I think it's very nice and sweet. I know some people don't like living by themselves. Some people don't like living with other people. They like living alone. And even me too, like someone who likes like some quiet peace. I understand all those things. Okay, I can relate to why you would want to, you know, be able to leave the house anytime you feel like, return at any time. You're not being questioned where you're going to, because I know those parents that will ask you 1,000 questions as to where you're going to. You should return home by a certain time. You can't go out and stay out too late. Those kind of things. I understand all those things, but when you are actually like in a lot of debt, you are struggling to actually be by yourself, like to live on your own, why continue being in that situation and be suffering when you can actually go to a place where you can save up some. Sometimes you need to endure a little bit, and maybe you can deal with therapy later if they really affected you that much. If they did hurt you that much. Or some people can actually opt out to maybe getting roommates. Maybe your roommate isn't going to be asking you where you're going to, or be nagging you or calling you and be asking you why you've stayed out too late, stuff like that, because you already have your own key. You can get in the house anytime you feel like. So that is also an option than maybe being at your parents' house. But being with a roommate, that means you still have some bills that you have to pay. While some people being with their parents, you know, they won't have to pay a lot of bills. Like, you won't have to pay. Maybe your parents already have their house, and you don't have to worry about all those rents and stuff, and then your parents are definitely gonna eat and feed themselves, so you don't have to worry with the groceries, or you just buy some things that you particularly like for yourself, and all you're gonna care about is just saving up money. Most of what you can do in some homes. So I feel like if you, as much as you like being by yourself, as much as you love being in your own home, if it's gonna help you save up a lot of money, I would say you should go home. You should endure it, okay? Endure it, especially when you know that you're not gonna stay in that situation forever. I think knowing that, having that mindset that, oh, you know, I'm not gonna be in this situation forever. I am just planning, I'm doing something for a bigger cause, so that I will like be able to do some things that I want to do later. So it's just a temporary endurance. The truth about this is a lot of people complain about their parents, and while some people actually, you know, this life is just crazy because many people, some things that you don't like, some things that you hate and you complain about because you are in that situation, somebody is out there in the world and hoping and wishing that they could be in that situation. You can imagine what somebody who grew up as an orphan is thinking. An orphan, or someone who never got the chance to actually spend a long time with their parents, or was never loved by their parents, will feel like, oh, I wish I actually had parents who will be calling me, who I can go back home to, who will be calling me and be checking on me and making sure that I definitely answered the phone call, or they'll be there and trying to, you know, check on me or make sure that I'm actually alive and I'm well and safe. So many things. That's one thing that I realized. Sometimes some things that you're complaining of and you're like, oh, I don't like this, I'm tired of it, they're suffocating me. Somebody's there wishing and hoping for it, and possibly maybe if they did happen to experience that, then they would be like, I don't think it's as nice as I thought it's gonna be. Well, who knows? Sometimes when you don't have some things, you tend to appreciate it. But I mean, some of you can relate to everything that these people are saying in this video. Some of you have experienced this firsthand in your life. Some of you have never experienced it, and you wish you could go back to your parents, but you really cannot go back to them. So that's just, I just wanted to share this video with you guys, and you all should let me know what you think about this video and leave your thoughts in the comment section. And I would love for you guys to please click the like button because it helps with the algorithm. You can share this video if you want to your friends and family. I appreciate you guys. Make sure you please click the like button and subscribe to the channel if you're new here, and hit the notification bell to get notified every time I post a new video. I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.